One of the questions I really like to ask in my workshops is, do you prefer to have an agenda before a meeting? And it gets a lot of different perspectives. Some people really like to have an agenda because it helps them prepare for what the meeting is about, while others resist having agendas because they take a lot of time and they can make the meeting too strict or formulaic. So while people vary in their opinions about whether an agenda is necessary, it's always useful to have some kind of plan for a meeting so it doesn't go off course. And that's where POP comes in. POP is an acronym that can help you organize your meetings. It stands for Purpose, Outcomes, Process. And what I love the most about it is it's something that you can write on the back of a piece of paper right before a meeting starts to get you organized and help you facilitate. So here's how it works. Purpose is just naming why we're having the meeting. What is this meeting for and why is it important? Outcomes. What are we trying to achieve through the conversations that we have today? And then process. What kinds of conversations do we need to have to get there? Is this a brainstorming conversation? Is this an evaluation of different ideas? Is this something where we're just clarifying roles to move forward? So to clarify, I'm just going to walk you through a quickly popped agenda. So as you can see here, we have an agenda that has POP. Purpose, outcomes, and process. The purpose of this meeting is to align on an onboarding plan for a new client. The outcomes are to clarify all of the different friction points that could come up in onboarding that might really frustrate our new client. The second outcome is to identify how we're going to onboard the client to avoid these friction points. And the third step of this meeting is to decide who's responsible for which steps. The process for this meeting is pretty simple. We're going to spend a few minutes reviewing data. What happened with our last client? What do we know has been a friction point for other clients in the past? Then we're going to identify other friction points that we may not have considered or might come up because of the specific circumstance. Once we feel like we have all of that information out, we can actually move on to how might we solve these problems? What are the actual onboarding steps? Once we've agreed and aligned on the onboarding steps, then we're going to move into the phase of the conversation where we actually talk about who will take responsibility for each step. Lastly, we're going to discuss when we'll be meeting again and how we'll be keeping track of each other throughout the process. One of the great things about popping a meeting agenda is that it makes you look really organized and capable in front of your team. With this simple acronym, you inform everybody what the agenda for the meeting will be in a natural and inclusive way. You help them participate effectively, and you end up with really clear outcomes. One of my favorite parts about POP is that it really does not take very much time. Within 60 seconds, you can create an agenda that will clarify the outcomes, the purpose, and the process for the meeting. It will end confusion and help everybody participate effectively. Purpose, outcomes, process. It's a very quick and dirty way to turn meetings from something that's unpredictable to something that's very intentional.